Just want to see some good flight footage and, you know, just all the antics that you guys are going to be putting on all the time.
Lion's mane.
Look at this. I'm gonna plait him while she's talking.
Plait him. What is a plait?
This is our first official interview.
Yeah.
So
you're f***ed. Check. 1, 2. Ball sack.
Who are we here with?
Chase Ashton.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Ashton, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right, guys, so we're here with Ashton from Rebel Batteries. We're going to ask him all of these technical questions that they just...
Chase Ashton.
Chase Ashton.
Chase Ashton.
I'm not Ashton Kutcher.
Right, guys, so we've got Chase Ashton here from Rebel Batteries. We're going to ask him some questions. Technical stuff that he probably doesn't want to ask, and all secrets. We're going to find out exactly what's going on with this battery technologies. So tell us about Rebel Batteries. What is this thing? I've never actually used any Rebel batteries, so being from another country, so tell us about it.
We're trying to put an end to the inflated C ratings that a lot of battery companies have come out with. It's hard to know what kind of pack to put on your quad without having the actual information presented to you correctly.
Wait, we've got to stop this interview here. There's a guy
Can't figure out how to get around a yellow pole.
He can't.
That is a truck full of shopping trolleys. I have questions. So the big other portion of the thing is obviously you can get a battery with a higher C rating,
right,
or a higher discharge rating, essentially, because the higher milliamp the package, like the higher actual package, the higher discharge theoretically.
Right.
So if you're running a 3000 milliamp 70C, it's going to discharge more consistently over a period of time than a 1300 70C.
Right.
So the other instance is weight. Obviously the lightest battery on the market at the moment is 70C Thunder Power. And it's 147 grams with an XT60, which is pretty light for a 1300, and that's what I fly. How do your packs compare as far as weight goes?
Our packs are 147 grams as well.
Cool.
That's good.
We rated at 50C, and we're just trying to be honest about our C rating. A lot of companies will inflate that C rating, and that's what causes your sag. You know, when you're flying, you get to the end of your pack, and you're not getting that crisp throttle response that you used to. And a lot of our pilots have been noticing that they need to set timers on their stuff, because if they don't, then the pack just falls out of the air because they never felt the sag to begin with.
Yeah, no longer can you judge it off of feel.
Right. You can get a...
We got some stuff.
Hold on a second.
Holy shopping trolley explosion!
Look, those are fresh. Look how new the rubber is on the
Let's
tire.
race him.
Oh, he's gonna stuff right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is...
We're going to move now.
All right. So your backs weigh 147 grams, essentially the same
147 grams
thing.
are 4S 1300.
What is the form factor of that battery?
That battery is 70 millimeters by 34 millimeters by 34 millimeters.
Okay. So in layman's terms, it's about the size of a small brick.
Right.
Which is the same size as every other battery on the market.
Is there any difference in packaging size? Like, for example, the Thunder Power is long and skinny, and you've got other ones which are short and fat. Does that change the performance of it realistically, or can we choose any size we want?
We've chosen to do a fatter, shorter pack simply because I feel personally that you can move your CG around a little bit more consistently from frame to frame. So.
And that is one of the downsides to having a long skinny pack like the Thunder Power is some frames it won't fit, and some frames it does fit, but you have to kind of build the frame specifically for that battery, which is why all of my frames pretty much only fit that battery.
Right,
Where do you think the next technology is going to come from? Because I think everyone will agree that batteries are the weak link in mini quads right now.
Right. There's a limiting factor.
Well, yeah, motor consistency, yeah. But definitely batteries. I mean, if we can get more performance out of it, we can fly for longer, we can get more power, higher C ratings, and it's coming. I mean, do you have any ideas of where you think the next big thing is going to come?
I think that it's going to be, and we're a ways off because it's going to be pretty expensive to put on the back of a mini quad right now, but it's going to be carbon nanotube and graphene type battery packs, and that's what's going to give us the real discharge and be really light.
But I think once again it's down to the fact once it gets into the main consumer market with phones and stuff, like lipos weren't very affordable to begin with, and they didn't have performance as the technology matures.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we popped over here onto this bench because obviously we saw some trolleys trying to back through us, and we didn't want that. But we need to talk about internal resistance. So Chase, can you tell us about the internal resistance of your batteries in particular?
Yeah, so I mean, when you test the internal resistance of a battery on your charger,
a
lot of chargers calculate the IR differently. So it's best to test pack versus pack on the same charger than necessarily finding the findings that you found on the internet. As a manufacturer, me telling what we have found as far as internal resistance on our packs really means nothing when other people can test. So the best way to do it is just to use the same charger and compare pack to pack. And internal resistance is important because that's what's going to get you less sag, and that's what's going to help your batteries perform better under stress.
And I guess different batches of batteries are going to give you different ratings.
And different sizes as well. You know, you're going to have a different internal resistance with the same material on a higher capacity pack than you are on like a 1300 versus an 1800 pack, you know. So it's not consistent across branding. It's consistent across pack size to pack size.
Well, I can contest from personal experience that I've had 2 batteries that I've measured that had the same internal resistance, but one pack felt completely different as far as how it flew. So in the end, I think, and there's other things in the hobby that you'll find where you actually go out and you try to fly something that's mathematically correct and mathematically more accurate than any.
The trolley guy, now the...
Oh, excuse me.
He's the trolley base guy.
Let me squeal into this parking lot real quick at Mach 9. So the pack, obviously they all fly differently, so it's a feel thing as well. You might have something that looks like you have the voltage dropping to 12 volts, but it still feels good. Like I have some Thunder Powers that, and I'm not like name dropping Thunder Power, that's just pretty much what I fly, but I've also flown. In the end, essentially, it's how it feels when you're flying.
Exactly.
And the best thing for me is like a lightweight pack that has decent punch for about the first 2 minutes, and I can deal with the last minute of, I mean, obviously 3 minutes is about what I fly. So if people are crying about 3 minutes, then I don't know, the performance is not there. The powers are not, they're not dense enough as far as energy is concerned. I know Thunder Power quotes that all their stuff is not recycled, and other batteries don't really say that. Are your batteries recycled lithium?
We're non-recycled.
Non-recycled lithium. Okay.
We buy our material by the amp hour. There's material grades, and we buy by the amp hour, whichever grade, and then our packs are manufactured, and we're trying to keep them on the shelf for less than 3 months before it gets to the end consumer. Which, with fresh material, a break-in is important. Personally, I'm not too scientific about it. I just fly line of sight, hover around for the first 2 cycles, then fly lightly, FPV the 3rd cycle, and then just rip into it, you know?
And I mean, iChargers are great. There's a bunch of great chargers out there, but don't necessarily go for max ports, because some of these there's like multi-port chargers. You'll see like, yeah, I can charge 4 batteries at once, but if one of those ports dies, then you can only charge 3 batteries at once. And those ports are actually just scaled down versions of a big charger. So you have like an IMAX, whatever, the blue charger, I think anybody knows what I'm talking about. The little blue charger that's terrible. You have 4 of those. So why do you want 4 of those? Just buy a good charger and start charging in parallel, but make sure your battery voltage.
My iCharger 406 Duo, I've got 2 ports, so you do parallel charging. If you've got a big difference in the voltages of your packs, you can have one set up here and one set up there. I can charge everything I've got in one charge.
Right.
Whereas I used to have a Hi-Tech X4, and that used to be a 4 or 5 hour
ordeal.
Very much ordeal the night before of charging. So yeah, it's a lot of money, but when you're flying a lot and you're flying lots of packs, it saves itself in cash overnight.
I will say that those little blue chargers are great for charging these. But nothing else. Yeah, so we talked about some battery stuff. People, I don't know, if you have any more questions about batteries, or in particular Rebel batteries, I mean, Chase Ashton, do you have an email address that you can?
Yeah, just Chase at rebelminiquads.com, or you guys can get at me at Facebook. So
cool. And you have a website as well?
Yeah, it's rebelminiquads.com.
And get in touch with us too. If you want any questions answered, we're only asking the questions that we think are relevant. I'm sure there's plenty of other things that you guys might want to ask. So ask us, and we'll see what we can do about it.
And we can give you Chad Kapper's personal phone number if you want it.
And his address.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. You can go back.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for watching Rotor Riot. Ciao.
Thanks for watching Riot Wrote It.
Thanks, guys.